Guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be talking about a case that is strange. I say that about everything at this point. Why do I bother? I've always found cases where a spouse murders the other interesting because most of the time, well, they're always fucked up, but a lot of the time the circumstances are just very bizarre, especially people who try to cover it up, which is most people, I'd say. Oh, and a point I forgot to make is that a lot of the times their cover story is almost so ridiculous that they end up giving themselves away. So they're dumb in that way as well. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, I wanted to thank today's sponsor, which is Raid Shadow Legends. So Raid Shadow Legends, I'm sure you've heard of it, but if you haven't, it's a free mobile and PC RPG game that's known for its fantastic graphics. Links will be left in the description as well. A cool aspect of Raid Shadow Legends is that it's cross-device, so you can play with the same user on mobile as well as your desktop, which is a convenient switch for when you're out versus at home. I'm a big fan of the graphics, especially because they're very crisp and they don't make my eyes hurt. And on top of that, also because I pick my characters based on their appearance a lot of the time. See now, this chick, love the outfit. Picked her. She's not the best, but I mean, I will go with it just for the outfit. Also, now the daily login rewards program for new players has doubled from 90 to 180 days. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you're a new player, you will get 100,000 in silver plus 1 free champion, Hex Weaver. Thank you again to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. She was living a double life, friend says, of mom charged in Benadryl poisoning death of husband. Lorcine Eisenberg is accused of murdering her husband and staging a fake boating accident. See, this is why I said the circumstances are almost always weird to the point where they're using a boating accident as a cover-up. Which is quite an elaborate one. I wouldn't think of that as a first thing, but maybe it makes more sense than we know. Those who knew Idaho woman accused of poisoning her husband with Benadryl say that their friend was, unbeknownst to them, living a double life. Lorcine Lori Eisenberg, 66, was arrested in February in connection to the death of her husband, 68-year-old Larry Eisenberg, who died more than 2 years ago. Larry Eisenberg was believed to have perished in a boating accident in Lake Coeur d'Alene on February 13th, 2018, but authorities have since claimed Lori actually poisoned her husband with a deadly dose of Benadryl and made it look as if he died after falling off their boat. I'm confused. So, okay, this is why the boating accident thing didn't make sense to me. So, okay, maybe if you're an older person, depending on how cold the water is, especially if it's in February, maybe just falling off the boat is enough to send your body into a state of shock and then trigger something else, like a heart attack, I don't know. But I feel like there could have been a lot of other things that would have made more sense and would seem less suspicious than that. Or maybe I'm just not very aware of how many boating accidents there are, but literally a heart attack just occurring would make more sense to me than someone being like, oh yeah, he fell off the boat and just died. I don't know, to me it sounds more suspicious, but I'm not the police, so my opinion doesn't really matter. Lori has since been charged with first-degree murder, with prosecutors alleging that poison, lying in wait, or torture were potential factors in the killing of her husband, the spokesman reviewed reports. The news came as a shock to the couple's loved ones who spent years believing that Larry's death was a tragic accident and have since alleged that Lori was living a double life, People reports. Andrew Kern, a friend of Larry's, told the outlet, Larry trusted her completely, so we trusted her too, but she was living a double life that no one knew about. So I know a little bit about double lives because my dad majored in that. This is also why I chose this case, because the aspect of not really knowing your own spouse is, first of all, terrifying. Like, even friends, it doesn't have to be your spouse, but the aspect of not knowing them to the degree where they can live a double life and you have no idea, and that they'll poison you also. That shit terrifies me because, well, I mean, I guess I'm scared of trusting people generally, so imagine putting all your trust in someone and then they just kill you. That is a sobering reality we're talking about here. But I'm very curious to see like what this double life really meant. Like, did she have another family? What's going on? Also, I'm sorry, I don't like to talk about appearances because it's irrelevant, but she looks evil in this mugshot. Like, why are you smiling? Why are you smiling, Lori? You've been taken in for murdering your husband. What's there to be happy about? Let's just keep going. Ooh, she's about to get worse. That double life entailed embezzling hundreds of thousands of dollars from a nonprofit. Following her husband's death, she was arrested and charged with embezzling $500,000 from the North Idaho Housing Coalition during her time working with them, according to the Associated Press. She also gave some of the illegally gained money to 4 of her daughters. The woman eventually pleaded guilty to wire fraud, while her children pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, the outlet reports. Lori was sentenced in early 2019 to 5 years behind bars after pleading guilty. Embezzling from a nonprofit. Well. Yeah, there's not much of a case to be made, even if I do like being devil's advocate. She kind of just sounds like an overall terrible person. I suppose it was nice that she gave her kids money, but it's not hers to give because it wasn't hers. So it's not nice, because in the end, the kids sound like they're not great people either because they were okay with it. So in conclusion, everybody sucks. Casting further suspicion on the wife and mother, investigators have said that they observed handwritten changes to the late Eisenberg's will that would have left the majority of his estate to Lori's 6 daughters, while Larry's own 2 children would have only gotten 20%, according to the Associated Press. It's like every new paragraph, I'm like, okay, this person cannot be worse, and then they get worse. That is so shitty. I've always had such disdain for parents who will leave out the children of the other person if they have children from another person. I just truly think you can't really love your spouse truly if you don't want the children to get what they deserve and to potentially be taken care of, or, you know, have some financial help or whatever the case is. It's just perverse to me that parents or step-parents just are like that. Now, there's the possibility that Larry's kids were bad people, but considering what Lori's like, I don't really think she can judge here. Despite the revelations that would later come, Lori and Larry reportedly seemed like the perfect couple before his death. For all intents and purposes, Lori and Dad had an absolutely perfect marriage, Dean Eisenberg, Larry's son from a previous marriage, told People. If you believe in soulmates, they were soulmates. This is just really tragically sad. Also, I feel bad for the kids, maybe more for Larry's children, because it's horrible to see something that you thought was good, not even necessarily perfect, but even just good, and seeing that all unravel. So your perception of someone just goes to shit because you're like, oh, I thought I knew this person, I thought they were great, and I thought they loved my father. And then you get hit with, oh yeah, but she also killed him. I can't imagine. Lori's original story was a tragic one. The grieving widow told local outlets in 2018 that she and her late husband took the boat out that fateful day for a date, but when Larry went to inspect the motor because it didn't sound right, he fell over and into the water, according to the Idaho Statesman. Lori said that she tried to get him, but tripped and fell, hitting her head, and was unable to save him. I cannot describe the pain I feel, she said, following Larry's death. It's like half of me is gone. Lori has yet to enter a plea in her case, and her attorney did not immediately return People's request for comment. She's currently in custody at the Kootenai, is that how you say it, County Jail, on a $2 million bond, online records show. This whole case is such a shit show. There are just so many factors here, and I wonder what like the core reason for her deciding to murder him is. Considering that she was embezzling, I would maybe posit that it was financial. Surely there might be other reasons, but I mean, the kids didn't see any problems happening, and granted, it's pretty easy to hide things from people, but at the same time, adults can feel tension. Adults can kind of sense when there's an issue. So if according to the kids they were that perfect, I don't know, maybe it really just was financial, but I don't know, like even then it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me, and like the whole boating thing seems so weirdly elaborate. That's suspicious to me that she would go for that first before anything else. The fact that she had the audacity to say that she loved him and all that, it's like, oh God. I frankly hate that more than anything, when someone pretends to be the grieving spouse and then you come to find out that they did it and you're like, God, you're a piece of shit. So that's the conclusion, I guess. But let me know what you think her motives were, because I'm very interested. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.